Welcome back to the woods. Today I'm going to teach you one of the most basics of bushcraft, and that is making char-cloth to replenish your fire kit. So you're going to need a couple things for this, and by a couple I mean 3 things, maybe 4. So you're going to need something to char. This is 100% cotton rag that's, it's lived its life. I really like using rags because one, I already use them, and I don't have to go out and buy material just for that. A rag retires, then it goes straight into the char-cloth tin, which brings us to our next thing, a char-cloth tin. It can be any metal container. I've still got Altoid dust in here. That's not a big deal. Metal container that you can throw in the fire. As long as it's not going to melt, it's fine. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this, which would be one of our items, I'd say. You just put a tiny hole. Doesn't need to be very big. In fact, that may be a little too big. We're going to make that a little smaller. What this does is it allows the gases from the burning material to escape, and it leaves only the carbon. So we're going to go ahead and take this. What I like to do is take your stuff, and this could be any 100% cotton material. It doesn't have to be just cotton. You could use sticks. That's pretty much just charcoal at that point. Punk wood is really good. Some mushrooms, there's tinder fungus and everything, but if you char a whole mushroom, it'll still go. Pretty much any organic material. I've seen people use meat, not to a great success, but it can be done. So you want to cut strips that are roughly the length of your container. You don't want to pack it in too crazy tight because it'll take forever to burn. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this up. Give me just 1 second. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this into strips very carefully. You can use scissors for this, a knife, whatever you want to use. It doesn't have to be perfect either. So we're just going to very roughly... Sorry, I'm trying to hold this tripod at the same time. Let me readjust a little bit. Perfect. You're going to take this, you're going to want to roughly, they don't have to be perfect, but you want to roughly make them into the size of your container. You want them to roughly be about the size you'll use. It's fine, I like to leave them big like this, and then just rip off pieces as I need them. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this up, and I'll be right back with you. We've got a hole in our char tin, and we've got our material in there, packed tight, but there's still enough room. We're going to go ahead and do our next step, which is just tossing it on the fire. So it'll burn off the paint and everything, and you'll see from our hole that we poked, which not super necessary. You don't always have to do that. I think the hinges on these Altoids tins are pretty much good enough. I think it'll let enough of the gases out, but you'll see. We're going to go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to try to zoom in. There we go. And you'll see smoke start to come out of there. And then, as it continues to burn off all the stuff that's inside, it will, there we go, it'll go ahead and ignite. And then pretty much what you're going to look for is you're going to wait for the smoke and the fire to stop. And then I'll show you what to do next when we get to that point. Okay, looks like our char is done. I'm not seeing any more smoke come out of here. I'm not seeing any fire coming out. So we're going to go ahead and pull it off carefully, make sure we don't burn ourselves. So I'm going to pull this off, put it on the side, and we're just going to let that cool off. And it's important not to open this, because what we've done here is we burned everything except for the carbon. so it's still pretty hot, and if you open it, the carbon will ignite and your char cloth will burn up. And we don't want to burn it just yet. We want to wait until we need it to start a fire. And I'll show you once this is cooled down what it looks like, and give you a little demonstration. Check back in with you. Alright, welcome back. Looks like our char cloth is cooled off, cool to the touch. And you always want to look at it. It looks perfect. It is black all the way through. And yep, well, there's a little bit that maybe could go a little longer, but I think it'll be okay. So I really like using these terry cloths or washcloths because it's very fluffy, very fibrous. So it has a tendency, pardon me, I'm working on a little project over here. So because it's so fibrous and fluffy, it's a little bit easier to catch, in my opinion, a little bit easier to catch a spark because it's got all that surface area. So we're going to go ahead and use a piece of flint steel. Well, there's some washcloth from a former char cloth making session. Take it. I'm gonna take about half of this. Fold it in half so as much fluffy stuff is facing towards where I'm gonna make the sparks, which in this case is gonna be on this side of this stone. So got all this fluffy stuff right there. I'm at a weird angle, so it may take me a couple strikes. Get used to it. Oh, this stone's rusty. Hold on. Or this striker's rusty. Gotta love the humidity. There we go. You want that shiny. See if we can't get some sparks now. Actually, I think we're going to go over here. That nice broad side. Yeah, that feels much more comfortable. Bear with me just once. Trying to do 3 videos at once. I don't know how well it's working out. I think I'm going to get a bigger piece of flint. We'll try it with this one. Oh, there we go. And it'll grow. Yep, and there we go. It's that easy. You take this, put this in your tinder, and blow it into flame, and it'd be good. And that's how you make char-cloth. Thanks for tuning in, and get out in the woods and stay safe.